Whether you operate one forklift or thousands, one location or hundreds, the new My Toyota customer portal can help you optimize your operation and material handling equipment. This one-stop, free-to-use platform is designed to help you take control of your information and make smarter decisions, all at the touch of a button. Register and access your data today at my.toyotaforklift.com. That's my.toyotaforklift.com.
Hi, this is Mike Bates from Panasonic, and you're listening to the New Warehouse Podcast. Here's my safety tip for the day. Ensure your tablet or handheld data collection device is securely tethered to your hand or fork truck, especially when in and out of vehicles or when working around machinery.
With e-commerce off the charts, many small and growing warehouses are asking, how can I get ahead when my warehouse is barely keeping up? The answer is future-ready warehouse tech from Zebra Technologies. Warehouses can simplify and upgrade all processes, from automated inventory management to hands-free picking, with Zebra's tailored, scalable mobile solutions. They're simple and intuitive. There's never been a better time to upgrade for success with Zebra. How can your warehouse get ahead? The answer's in black and white. Get the answers at zebra.com/theanswer. That's zebra.com/theanswer. Fulfillment demand continues to skyrocket and outpace available labor. To keep up, warehouse operators are turning to flexible fulfillment solutions like 6 River Systems. Utilizing 6 River Systems' award-winning combination of collaborative robots, artificial intelligence, and operational expertise will make your associates and wall-to-wall fulfillment workflow more efficient. No new infrastructure, no change to warehouse layout, easy to deploy and scale, easy to train and retain associates, all at half the cost of traditional automation. Want to take your fulfillment operation to the next level? Go to www.6river.com to learn more. That's www.6river.com to learn more.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, this is Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast, bringing you a new episode today. On today's episode, I have 2 guests. I'm going to be joined by Dan Diliberti. He's the head of mobility products and market strategy at Panasonic, and Mike Bates. He is the enterprise account manager, PSSNA, Enterprise Mobility, also at Panasonic. So we're going to catch up with Panasonic. We've had them on the show previously. Also got lucky enough to do a little demo with a Toughbook previously last year when things were in person at Modex, actually. So that was very cool. And they have a new product releasing called the Toughbook S1, which is a tablet. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and some of the benefits of that and how some of their products are evolving. So Dan and Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yes, happy to have you guys both on. So, Dan, I think you're going to talk to us a little bit about from the mobile side, and then Mike, you're going to talk a little bit from just the overall Panasonic side. So, why don't you guys give us a little bit of a brief overview of, obviously we know Panasonic does a lot of different things, but we're speaking today specifically about kind of the mobile division and the Toughbook line specifically. So why don't you give us a little overview of that side of Panasonic and also the Toughbook line and what that kind of consists of?
Yeah, sure. So, well, first of all, thanks for having us. It is always a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with you and all the folks on the warehouse side of things. So warehousing is one of the core markets within our Toughbook strategy. We have been developing specific products for the warehouse for many, many years. We've got a lineup handheld devices and tablet devices and mobile computers that fit all different use cases within the warehouse. In the early days, we were developing a lot of products that were based on a Windows operating system, but more and more these days, a lot of our use cases and the applications that are designed within the warehouse are within Android. So we have a great portfolio of different products and solutions that cover all of the use cases within the warehouse for mobile computing. A lot of the use cases include, forklift mounting type solutions, picking and packing, voice enablement type solutions for large warehouses and small.
Definitely very interesting. And I mentioned that I got to demo one of the Toughbooks, and that was specifically the laptop version, which is very cool. And I love the expansion pack features of that as well. So now you guys are kind of expanding the line a little bit, and you have a couple different offerings in terms of tablets, but you're coming out with this new Toughbook S1 tablet. So tell us a little bit about the Toughbook S1 and what is that actually, and what is it contained in that tablet?
Yeah, well, the S1 is a reaction to the changes that are happening in the market today. As I said back a while ago, there was a lot of technology that was installed in a forklift or mobile worker carry around the warehouse to do their job. And it would be based on a Windows operating system of some way, maybe emulation or some way of communicating to that worker about what they need to do in their day-to-day job. But the roles within the warehouses are changing, and the complexity and the work that the warehouse worker is doing to make their job more efficient or more productive, the technology had to change with it. So the S1 is a really great reflection of what all of our customers told us they wanted in that newer technology. So the devices are not mounted to a forklift anymore. They have vehicle docks that can be mounted to a forklift, but they can also be removed so that when the worker has to get away from the forklift and maybe take an image of a damaged product, or they have to do something special to make an exception for the work order that they have. They can be much more mobile, which makes them more efficient in what they do in their job day to day.
Got it. Very interesting. And I love the fact that you said, based on what the customer was telling you, and that's how you made the changes and the updates and come up with this new product as well. So I also mentioned there kind of some of the changes in the market. So, you mentioned being able to be more mobile and being able to remove it from the truck, put it on the truck as you need it, and be able to use it in other applications as well. So I'm curious, what other kind of changes in the market, and I guess from the customer perspective, what other things were they telling you that really kind of drove the demand for this new tablet and the development of this product?
Well, there's a lot of different tablets out there. There are consumer tablets. There's a lot of devices that are prosumer, rugged. But one of the unique things that a customer's told us that it said they really needed, for one, is that the device needs to be able to work throughout an entire shift. And if it wasn't going to work through the entire shift, then the batteries needed to be replaceable. So this 7-inch tablet is one of the first tablets to have a really high-capacity battery that's replaceable with warm swap. So what that means is that someone who's working in a warehouse and the battery runs low, they can remove the battery that's in the device. They can replace it with a new fresh battery without ever skipping a beat, because the tablet still stays powered on even while the battery's removed from it.
Really?
And then the battery gets put into the charger, and then the worker goes on to do the rest of their work throughout the day to finish their shift. Some other things that we heard from the users is that they need to be able to use gloves with this device. So some of the workers are going in and out of freezers, and they're working in all sorts of different environmental conditions. And so the technology's got to be able to work even with real thick gloves, like winter gloves that have 5, 6, 7 millimeter thick of fabric around your fingers. So a lot of technology that's out there doesn't do that. But we have a special patented technology that can do that. And then integration of barcode readers too. That there's lots of ways to read barcode readers, but we have a dedicated barcode. There's lots of ways to read barcodes, but we have a dedicated module integrated into this device, that is really high powered, super fast, and again, all for the purpose of making the worker more efficient, more productive, more accurate in the job that they do every day.
Yeah, very interesting. And I love the fact about the glove touch technology, because actually, we work in a warehouse manager during the day, and we certainly see a lot of fingertips of gloves being cut off so they can very easily navigate the handhelds and things like that. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, how does that technology actually work? Because I know with the phone and things like that, your fingertip, I guess it senses from the heat or something like that. So how do you ensure that it has that sensitivity that you are able to utilize the gloves and the thickness of the glove that you mentioned as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on there. The patent that Panasonic has around this glove touch, we also have wet touch too, by the way, which is a real common need within the warehouse, because sometimes there's snow, rain, other moisture that could fall on top of the display. So the algorithms can detect the difference between the noise of rain and water being on the surface of the tablet and kind of eliminate that to better focus on what the user is actually trying to touch. And so, I'm not an engineer, so I can't get into the details about it. But what I can tell you is that it works incredibly well and very precise as well.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, that's even technology we need on our consumer devices as well, like the iPhone and stuff. That would be nice in the winter. But so the hot swap thing too or the warm swap, I think you called it, is very interesting as well, because I think that is something, obviously as you're going through and working in the warehouse, you're doing transactions, you don't want to lose your work that you're doing if you're in the middle of picking an order or something like that and you need to swap. So I guess there's some sort of internal battery that's on board as well. How does it stay powered on if you're taking the battery out, which is providing the power?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's an internal capacitor that stores up some kind of charge. It's not a battery, but it's a capacitor that stores up some charge for a limited amount of time until it gives the user about 40 seconds to a minute to change out the battery.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's really cool, because that's really important as well as you're going through the operation and going through the different process flows as well. So a lot of cool benefits there, and reasons to kind of go to this tablet. And I'm curious too because I was looking at the different lineup for the Toughbook, and you have a couple different tablets, as I mentioned before, different screen sizes. So why the 7-inch? I'm curious. Is that what's the most popular? Fits in the most places on trucks, or why 7 inches?
Yeah, Mike, I think that's a great question for you. I think from your perspective, you get to see how our customers are using our products every day. What's your perspective on screen size?
So, hey, Kevin, Mike Gates here, and again, appreciate the time.
Yep.
So, what we're finding with the tablets. So, back in the day, and still a lot of customers today have the old fixed mount type of data collection on their fork trucks, and I'm sure you've seen it. Probably weighs about 10, 15 pounds. It was only for one function, staying fixed on the fork truck, hooking up a long range scanner or a standard range scanner to that terminal and scanning the data. The beauty of a tablet, whether it's a 10-inch, whether it's a 12-inch, 10-inch, or 7-inch tablet, or even a handheld, which is a 4.7 or 5-inch screen, is it's multifunction. So Dan mentioned earlier, you can take the tablet off of the say it's on a fork truck, and they could take the fork truck, they could take that tablet off and maybe do some exception reporting. They can maybe do some quality control. So again, it's a multifunction device. So we've had customers that have had these fixed terminals. We talked about with them, okay, you can utilize this a multifunction device. It's actually quite a bit less money than those fixed mount tablets or fixed mount terminals as well. But it depends really on the application. So some WMS applications, warehouse management applications, just need a lot of real estate. So they're looking at a 10-inch or 12-inch type of screen, which we offer. Panasonic offers these types of sizes in Windows and Android, but also the S1. And what's really neat about the S1, and I've seen and had discussions with my customers, is it's really a good size. The 7-inch, it's not too large. It's almost like the Three Bears. Not too big, not too small, but it's the right size.
Yeah.
And you can actually have applications, application specific for data collection, where they utilize a barcode and they're scanning inventory, or they have an application where they need a little bit larger screen than the old handheld device. And they can, with that particular application, the 7-inch is just enough space for them, again, size-wise and amount of real estate, and it's also auto-rotate, so portrait or landscape mode. So it really just depends on the applications. But again, having a rugged device with glove touch, rain sensing mode, extra long life battery, integrated barcode scanner. We offer it with just either Wi-Fi or with Wi-Fi and 4G. So, I mean, you have so many different options, and that's what our customers have been telling us. We want something that we could just have a little side holster. The device is just, if you look at it, you'd think, oh my God, I can't believe this is a rugged device. It's just, it's kind of elegant looking for a rugged tablet, but it's got a lot of horsepower. It's purpose built and it's multifunction.
And now a quick break to hear from our sponsor, Supply Chain Mavens. The past year has been full of fascinating and complex supply chain news. From shortages and forecasting challenges to issues with COVID-19 test components to the never-before-seen speed to market of the vaccine. In the past year, logistics and supply chain professionals like you have been nothing short of miracle workers. Supply Chain Mavens helps your team to continuously improve by developing tailored training solutions to enhance your team's competencies so they can successfully work across all aspects of supply chain. They offer exam preparation for the coveted APICS, certified in logistics, transportation, and distribution designation, as well as education in topics across the supply chain. Visit them at supplychainmavens.net/new warehouse to learn how they can help you advance your team's performance. That's supplychainmavens.net/new warehouse. Now back to the show. Yeah, and I'm happy you touched on the rugged part as well there, because we've been talking so much, I guess, about the internal and operating system and all those components as well. But obviously the Toughbook line is all about being rugged. So the fact that it has that additionally, and like you said, it does look, very sleek, like a normal tablet as well, which is very cool. So I'm curious from the sales kind of things, like, we talked about a lot of the upgrades and things that are going on and features of the tablet, but if someone has tablets already in place, or maybe they're not using tablets yet, why would someone want to upgrade? Why should people upgrade?
You mean going from, say, a fixed mount device, fixed mount?
Yeah, fixed mount device, or an older device, a Windows-based device or something. Yeah. Right.
And what we're finding, and again, and I know that, Kevin, you've been in the industry for a long time as well, but the old, Windows embedded handheld 6.5, Windows CE, it just lasted forever. Didn't really have many security updates, but applications basically each day, technology changes, applications just keep getting developed for the latest and greatest, whether it's Windows, latest and greatest, whether it's Android. So, and what I'm seeing is, again, I've been doing this a long time. What I'm seeing, it seems like every couple of years, you really need to, whether it's your devices or your application or both at the same time, you need to refresh your products just to have these applications that provide the efficiencies, the edge computing that you do need. And that's what a Panasonic device, going from a fixed type terminal or an old handheld running CE, they want to refresh to the latest and greatest technology. We released the S1 with Android 10, so you have all the latest, and it's enterprise, so we're Android recommended, and so it's enterprise specific, and it's built for the enterprise space, for the warehouse, for the manufacturing environment, for the field service team, outside the four walls, inside the four walls. So again, you're going with a device that's even less expensive than what they paid for with their fixed mount devices, but you have the latest and greatest technology. And then you have a company like Panasonic that updates that technology and stays with the latest and most current updates from a security standpoint and an operating standpoint as well.
We'll be back after a quick break.
You hear a lot about supply chains these days, because if the past couple years have taught us anything, it's that an efficient, well-managed supply chain is absolutely critical to keeping businesses successful and consumers happy. I'm Will Haywood, and I host a podcast called All Business, No Boundaries, where we talk about supply chains, how they work, what happens when they don't, and the innovations that are redefining what's possible in the world of logistics. Join me for insightful interviews with thought leaders and industry experts. We discuss how optimizing supply chains can break down the barriers that are holding businesses back. That's All Business, No Boundaries by DHL Supply Chain. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think you have good points there about, making sure that you're staying up to date for different applications and things of that nature. And there's all kinds of new systems that are coming out Android based to help you, pick more efficiently and do other functions in handheld devices as well. So really interesting points. And, I'm curious, you mentioned that the Android 10, but I saw there's also something, I guess, called Productivity Plus that comes as part of that. So
yeah.
What is that exactly, and how does that help you in your operation?
Yeah, it's interesting because end users are an important customer for us, but it's also the IT manager who is the one who needs to deploy and develop applications on this platform, and they need to be able to manage it and make sure that it's secure and that once it's out in the field that it can be maintained and sustained. So we created Productivity Plus, which is an entire suite, a comprehensive suite of applications that really focuses on three areas of that cycle. One is the development side of things. So if the IT manager, the IT staff within their organization is looking to deploy 100 units, 1,000 units, sometimes even tens of thousands of units, we're helping them to give them the tools that they need to develop all their applications. And then the next step then is to deploy all of those units. Because you can imagine, even putting 10 devices out into a warehouse is not an easy thing to do, let alone hundreds at a time in one location. And so making it manageable and something that the IT manager can put their arms around, like any other device that's on their network, is a big, important piece of what we do for the enterprise. And then once it's out there, sustaining it. So a third customer for us within the same organization is even the CIO and the financial people, because they want to know that this device will be usable for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, sometimes even as long as 7 years. So as Mike was saying, it's really important that hardware is sustainable for all that time. We give OS upgrades. We track all of the security updates that need to be pushed out to the devices, and that's what Productivity Plus is. That it's the whole comprehensive system that our customers are not just buying a device; they're buying a complete solution for the next 3 to 5 years that are helping them to manage those devices and keep their employees working.
Yeah, that's great because I certainly experienced where we have some difficulty where IT may be remote in some situations, and managing those devices can become difficult. There may be something that maybe they could do remotely, but there may be some things they can't. So it sounds like kind of resetting devices, upgrading, and things of that nature. The Productivity Plus kind of helps manage that, and I think from an IT perspective as well helps you manage, especially if you're not present in the building and you want to know that the devices are in good condition and doing what they need to do, and also staying up to date and working for the operation as well. So I think that's really cool.
As you can imagine, there's a lot of cost associated with having to maintain products that are off-site like that. So to your point, that's there's our products, our premium products, there's a return on that investment because of the tools and the different resources we make available for just that point. It's a really great point.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I certainly personally have dealt with the headaches of on FaceTime with IT or something, or sending pictures back and forth, and the screen looks like this now, and now the screen looks like this, and do you see this? And I'm like, I don't know where that is. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely an awesome feature and something I think that could be heavily utilized in a smart and efficient way, and certainly, like you said, to save money as well, because when you're on remote like that with the operations manager or somebody at the operation, you're taking them away from what their job is essentially and their responsibility. So it's really a cool thing. So I'm curious, we're talking about tablet here, and obviously you guys have decided to put out this new tablet. So Are you seeing in the market that from a operations warehouse manager perspective, supervisor perspective, that people and companies are moving away from laptops a bit and adopting more tablets to create more mobility, or what's the environment out there right now?
Right. Yes, Kevin, this is Mike. So that's a great question. And again, so many people have used laptops, whether consumer grade or rugged, like a Panasonic laptop. Yeah. But a tablet like the S1, what that gives you is a laptop does not have a barcode scanner. A laptop is not really as rugged. It doesn't take the drop. We do have one laptop that's kind of specific for kind of the public sector and the armed forces. It's expensive, it's heavy, and it really wouldn't be a good fit for the warehouse. Whereas a tablet, mentioned earlier, it's a multifunction device. We've got the Android Productivity Plus tied around that. And again, to Dan's point, it's an ecosystem. So it's not only the hardware itself, the accessories that come along with the hardware. Then we've got the support systems, internal applications that Panasonic utilizes to help our customers deploy the devices. And then our relationships with third-party, whether it's third-party hardware or third-party ISVs that do mobile device management. You mentioned earlier is, mobile device management. We've got customers basically all over the globe, and they can have help desks that can actually just key in the information, key in the serial number or the identifying number for that particular device. Someone's utilizing it in Russia, and they can actually key in and they can take control of that device. So really what that comes down to is it's really just, again, the Productivity Plus, the tablet, the rugged ability, the battery life, the glove touch, and the form factor. I mean, again, a 7-inch form factor, it's something that you put a little side holster on your belt, or maybe in cargo type pants, you can just slide it right in there if you need your hands, and it's going to just give you so many more capabilities. It's even more of a edge compatible device than a laptop really is. And that's really what we're seeing. That's what our customers are moving. That's why they're moving away from a laptop out on the floor. Even maybe upfront cost, maybe a little bit less for a laptop. It's return on investment. What are you going to get for return on investment? And we've got customers that'll they'll have it 5 to 7 years. Yeah. And from a sales perspective, that's kind of unfortunate, but we make great devices. And you have peace of mind. I can sleep at night knowing that I sold a customer a device that's going to last for a long time.
Yeah, very interesting. I was curious about that because, I think even I said this on this show a few times before, but, I noticed that like a lot of, what we're doing in our personal life with technology and being more mobile and utilizing more the phone and tablet and stuff and Android base and all these things, like it's translating over to the enterprise side as well, like in the warehouse, the technology. So I was curious about that. So I mean, and I saw you mentioned sticking it in the pocket holster. I saw you guys have like a shoulder carrying thing too as well to make it convenient. Yes. So I mean, that's really cool, and I think it's definitely a lot more mobile. But I guess if we're moving away from the laptops, I mentioned earlier that I thought the Toughbook laptop, the expansion packs are really cool. So are there any plans to do expansion packs like on tablets in any way, potentially?
Yeah, you bet. So we designed it with the idea that it would have a whole lot of flexibility. So today you can get the barcode reader as an expansion pack. Okay. One of the unique things that we're doing as far as that's concerned is that it's mountable in a landscape mode or a portrait mode. So the IT manager, when they order the product and configure the device, it's to match the use case that they're using it in. But then we've also kind of created this platform where customers need additional I/O ports, like a gigabit LAN port or a USB port or USB-C. There's a whole host of different potential options that we could offer because of that what we call XPack strategy. So the barcode scanner is available today, but there's a lot of opportunity for the future if customers come to us and ask for it.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, because I like that. I think it makes the device like really really versatile as well. So the fact that you guys are already thinking about that, either you guys are really smart or you're reading my mind. I don't know. One or the other. But but you said you listen to the customer, so that's a good thing. So I'm sure that's where it came from. Voice of the customer is always important in driving improvement in the products and things of that nature. So Toughbook S1, I mean, it sounds really awesome, and it's available now or available soon?
Yep, available now. We launched it last week.
Okay.
So hopefully, your customers are hearing it for the first time. It's ready and ready to ship.
All right, very cool. So I want to thank you guys, Dan and Mike, for coming on the show. How can people find out more information about Panasonic and the whole Toughbook line?
Yep, toughbook.com is the best way to find us. You can get access to all of our products there, including the new S1.
All right, great. And we'll put that link on the newwarehouse.com as well. So Dan and Mike, thank you again for your time.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more content from the New Warehouse, check out our new video series called All Hands on LinkedIn. Just search for the New Warehouse on LinkedIn and follow along.